Yo, what's good everybody? It's Mango Llamas here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. And today's video, kind of gonna be a weird video, is we're just gonna be talking about why you shouldn't be a try-hard sweaty nerd on the Elden Ring PvP Coliseum Duels. Now, before we get into what we're gonna talk about today, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You should be able to do whatever you want on a video game. It's a video game, so anything I'm about to say does not matter, and play however you want. It's a video game. So in today's video, I'm specifically talking about why you shouldn't be a try-hard sweaty nerd on the Colosseum Duels, not in anywhere else. So what that basically means is it doesn't matter if you're a try-hard nerd on invasions or PvE, because when you do those things, when you do invasions and PvE and you win, there's a reward to it. The reward is you get runes, and in PvE, the reward is you progress the story, you beat the boss, and you get runes. But in the Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels specifically, and all the other Colosseum game modes, but today we're just going to be talking about the Colosseum Duels. The Colosseum Duels specifically, and the Colosseum in general, when you play those things, or when you play the Colosseum and you win or lose, you don't get anything. You don't get anything. You don't get no runes. You don't even get items. You get nothing. The only thing you get on the Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels when you win is your rank. And it's not hard to get the highest rank. So what the rank system is that the more you win games, the more shiny your banner is. And there's like 5 ranks, but like, who really gives a fuck about the ranks? I don't think anyone gives a fuck about the ranks. And it's not hard to get the highest rank. It's really not hard. So rank doesn't mean shit, and you don't get anything for winning in the Colosseum Duels or the Colosseum in general. So why try hard and use the most meta shit possible to win every single game in the Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels? People just do that to win. So that's basically my first point, is that you shouldn't be a try-hard sweaty nerd on the Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels because there's no reward to it. So my second point is that if there is no reward to the Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels, shouldn't you just run the most fun, unique, cool character, cool setup, cool and unique build you can on the Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels because there's no reward to it? So what that basically means is, what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to play the Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels, you should run a build and a character that makes sense. Now, to some people, this doesn't really matter. Some people don't really care about this, but to me, I kind of care about this. So I'll use examples from games in this video. So basically what I mean by make a character that makes sense is that if you're going to play Elden Ring PvP Colosseum Duels, you should make a character that you would want to make, that makes sense to you, makes sense as a character, has a theme to it, and makes sense as a character in a fantasy world, or aka a character in Elden Ring. Alright? So what that basically means is, let's take an example from some of these games in this video. So in some of these games in this video, you're going to see people run off stock, which is a very meta setup on Elden Ring PvP. It is basically consists of running the Banished Knight's Halberd in your main hand and running a rapier in your offhand. Now it has to be a Banished Knight Halberd or the Commander's Standard because it has the poking moveset with the light. Now, that is one of the meta setups most sweaty tryhard nerds use, and if you use that, you're a sweaty tryhard nerd. But what the point I'm trying to make is, with that setup, with using a halberd in your main hand, specifically the Banished Knight's halberd in your main hand and the rapier in your offhand, aka off stock, where is the theme in that? There is no theme in that. There's no way your Elden Ring character or your fantasy world character has a halberd in his main hand and a rapier in his offhand. That just doesn't make any sense. Another example I'll use from this video is you're gonna see a guy in here that's using double knives. Now, his setup actually makes sense, and I'll explain why. He is running double knives, with one of them being, I think it's called, I don't know. It has like a death magic theme to it. So he's using a death magic knife, and he's using another knife, so double knife. He's dressed up as kind of a dark themed assassin, and he's using incantations, like death incantations as well, and also just some regular incantations. So his build is basically a dark magic, dark assassin type of build. That makes sense compared to just somebody using a halberd in their main hand and a rapier in their offhand. Like, what kind of a character is that? Another example I'll make is, you'll see in this video, there's some people, or like, I think it's only one guy in 2 games, that he's just doing literally anything to win. So he's switching to his Royal Remain set when he's low on health. He's switching to his Icon Shield when he's low on health. He first starts off with the greatsword that buffs your stats, so he pops that first, but then he switches to his rapier. But after he struggles with his rapier, he switches to his double spears, but after he struggles with his double spears, he switches back to his rapier so he can get Storm Stomp on it, so he can get a free light afterwards, so he can get more hits. But at the same time, like, where is the theme in that? There's no theme in that. You're just doing that to win. And why are you doing that, doing anything possible to win, when there's no reward to it, is what I'm trying to say. If you're gonna be a tryhard sweaty nerd, go ahead and do that on the PvP invasions or on PvE, because there's a reward to it. So what I'm basically trying to say is, why be a sweaty tryhard nerd on the Elden Ring PvP duels, on the Elden Ring PvP Coliseum duels, when there's no reward to it? So you might as well make a fun and unique build and a character that makes sense, instead of using a super duper meta setup just so you can win every single games when there's no reward to it.